The title of this video isn't supposed to be a political statement whatsoever. The Lapa will be the last gun I unlocked DM Ultra on, and that's literally just because I have everything in the game DM Ultra now. Except, of course, a couple melee weapons, but I've been grinding them, and I almost have the Sledgehammer DM Ultra, and I'm working on the new axe that was brought in during Season 6. I still have to unlock the cane, the mace, and the baseball bat. The size I have DM Ultra, the machete, the katana, and there's one more melee weapon. Oh, the E-tool. Those I all have gold / DM Ultra. So I have 5 melee weapons to go, but that'll be done during the week at some point. However, I did the size yesterday, and oh my god, they're just like, I forgot how annoying melee weapon challenges were, especially after doing Damascus and just not touching the ones in Cold War for a while. But yeah, the Lapa's DM Ultra, which means as long as there's no late DLC, kind of similar to what we saw with the RAL and the CX-9, I will have every single weapon DM Ultra and will never have to unlock another one again. Minus the melee weapons, but those will literally be DM Ultra sometime this week because I'm going to grind the double weapon XP weekend and get those leveled up and unlock them and all that fun stuff. But yeah, gun-wise, I'm done. It feels pretty nice. I feel more relieved now that all the weapons in Cold War are DM Ultra compared to Damascus, just because I kind of already knew what to expect with getting Damascus on everything, and now that I have it in Cold War, well, DM Ultra in Cold War, I'm extremely content. And I mean, Dark Aether is still another story. I still have to do the Dark Aether weapons that I listed in the video yesterday, because I haven't really played zombies yet. I've just been finishing off multiplayer. I want to get multiplayer 100% complete and out of the way, so that includes melee weapons, and yeah, and then I'll move to zombies, and then zombies will be done by the time Vanguard comes out, and then I will have every mastery camo on every single weapon in the previous 2 Call of Duties, which is going to be really nice. And let's talk about the Lapa really quick. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but this SMG feels extremely weak. Like, usually with the MP5 and weapons like the Bullfrog and AK-74U, those seem to actually do decent at range, but for some reason the Lapa for me doesn't do well at range, and you guys can completely correct me in the comment section down below. The attachments that I showed at the beginning of the video, that's the attachments that I've pretty much always used, so I don't know if I'm just using anything wrong. I have tried playing around with my effective damage range attachments and just the overall damage attachments, but I don't know if it's just the recoil or the iron sights, but this gun just doesn't seem to perform very well at all. I always have to have the micro reflex on because I just hate the iron sights. I feel like I'm at a disadvantage while ADSing, so I throw on that, which takes away one of my attachments that I could have used for handling or range or something. And this SMG just feels very lackluster, which I mean doesn't happen very often with a new SMG, because usually the new SMGs are pretty overpowered. Like we saw it with the MAC-10 and the LC-10, the OTS. I'm trying to think of the other one, the Tech-9. All the SMGs have been extremely overpowered or extremely good in most scenarios, but now we just have this random SMG that's not very good in the game. I'll probably never use it. I used it in Warzone a little bit, not a huge fan of it. I know some people said that the OTS is pretty decent and can compete close range depending on your attachments, but will still get outgunned by the MAC-10 and MP5, which basically means the OTS-9 is useless in Warzone, at least as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, I mean, it's really nice to be done with Cold War. I would say I'm 98% complete Cold War. All I have left is Dark Aether on the melee weapons that I don't have DM Ultra on or don't even have unlocked. And then I have the 2 SMGs still. The Carve 2 is basically Gold Viper at this point, and same with the EM2. That's also basically Gold Viper at this point. So I'm pretty much set for Vanguard to come out, and it's going to feel really weird, because usually what I've done in Call of Duty is I will get the mastery camos on all the bullet firing weapons and all the special weapons, and then I'll just never touch the melees. I did it with Modern Warfare and the Kodachis. Until the CX-9 and RAL came out, I really just had everything Damascus except the Kodachis, because I just never had any incentive to unlock them. But since I did the Damascus grind for the second time, I 100% completed Damascus in Modern Warfare, even on every single DLC weapon, and then I looked at DM Ultra and I was like, well, I have it on every single weapon in the game, I just don't have it on the melees, so I guess I have to do melees. And then of course when the Lapa came out, I had to do that as well. And then Dark Aether, but I just didn't want to. I just been putting off Dark Aether. It's not even like I haven't wanted to do it. It's just I haven't had any motivation or just need to until Warzone introduced the Dark Aether camo. But it's going to feel very weird within the next couple of weeks leading up to Vanguard. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do once I actually finish off all the mastery camos, because I'll be like, there's nothing to grind. Oh, and of course, I did forget that there is the hammer and sickle coming out at some point, which we'll have to do a melee challenge or something to unlock, and that way we can just get it DM Ultra and Dark Aether then. But by then, I'm hoping to have everything in the game completed. That way, Vanguard, when that comes out, I can just literally focus on Vanguard and Vanguard only. And then when I'm complete Vanguard, or when I finish Vanguard, I will like maintain my 100% mastery camo unlock for the current generation of Call of Duty. I consider this generation, or I guess the current generation of Call of Duty, from Modern Warfare on, so Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Vanguard, just because everything plays a little bit differently with how Call of Duty works, and there's cross-platform progression and cross-game progression and all of these things that can basically stack on top of each other. I guess you could say I don't have 100% camo completion with Obsidian, but I see Obsidian kind of like, I don't really, like, I see Obsidian as a mastery camo, but not to the same level that Damascus, DM Ultra, and Dark Aether is. It's definitely a mastery camo, but I would say it lies somewhere in between like a diamond / platinum and a Damascus / DM Ultra. It's like halfway in between. It's better than gold. Diamond at some times can be better than Obsidian, prestige wise and just like grind wise, and then there's other times where it could be closer to Damascus, say like Jev when he has Obsidian on literally every single weapon in the game. I would say that's very close, like that's much more close to Damascus because he has everything there. And I have Obsidian on a couple guns, so I just don't really think of Obsidian half the time. And honestly, I feel like it's going to happen with the mastery camo grind in Vanguard. I wouldn't mind seeing the Obsidian camo come back in some form or fashion, because then I would actually grind for it properly there, but just not Obsidian at the same time, kind of like maybe like a different looking camo with the same prerequisites of having gold unlocked already. I always thought, until I was unlocking Damascus for the second time, that you could only get Obsidian when you had a Damascus unlocked, because I had Damascus on everything, and then all of a sudden Obsidian was added as like a new challenge. So I thought, oh, you have to have Damascus to get Obsidian, so Obsidian's more prestigious than Damascus, because not only do you have to have Damascus, but then you have to master the weapon overall. But that's just not the case, and I feel like that's going to return in some way, and it's going to be interesting. I'm obviously going to focus on the gold camo grinds first. I want to focus on multiplayer first, get multiplayer out of the way, then move on to zombies, grind whatever the mastery camo in zombies is, and then I'll be 100% in that game. And then my Warzone account is going to be absolutely stacked. I'm gonna, like, I should just turn my account into an NFT at this point. Like, people literally have to pay me like 100 Bitcoin to purchase my account, because it has like all the mastery camos except Obsidian on it, all completely legit too, because I know there's a lot of people that use the unlock tools out there to unlock weapons. Like they instantly get Damascus on everything without even getting a kill with a gun. And same thing with all the mastery camos. And then we've all seen the videos of like people using Diamond or DM Ultra on the Modern Warfare weapons in MW multiplayer, which actually looks very cool. I wish they did that. Like, I wish, for some reason, this sounds really stupid, but I wish you could, like, in Warzone or something crazy, like it would have to be in Warzone or Plunder, you could get Damascus on the Cold War weapons and DM Ultra on the Modern Warfare weapons, but the only place you couldn't do that in the standard multiplayer. Like, you couldn't go into Cold War multiplayer and work on getting DM Ultra on like the M4A1, for example. You would have to do it in a neutral zone, being Warzone or Plunder or any of the game modes in there, which would make that camo so prestigious, because they should make it, or if it was a thing, I know they're not actually going to do this, but if they were going to, they should put DM Ultra as a mastery camo that you have to unlock Damascus first. Like, you have to have the mastery camo of that game first before you can get like the Cold War mastery camos on Modern Warfare. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Use code WILD on gamersubs.gg, saves you guys some money, helps support the channel. Anyway, better head out if there is one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.